Hey there, I'm Tyler Lunsford, and you're watching a review of Antonio Martinez's Unorthodox. What is up, you beautiful people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. Now, if you're new here, then definitely please consider subscribing and take a look around the channel at my past reviews. Also, if you are subscribed, then definitely click the bell so that way you get notified every time I post a new video. You don't want to miss one of these reviews or any other magic content that I post, because I just hope that they're informative and you can get something out of them. So thank you if you are new here. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And thank you to Mystique Factory for sending me this product so I could do the review for you beautiful people out there. And if you'd like to buy Unorthodox or anything else that's on their website, your first order from them, you can get 10% off entirely by using the code Tyler10 at checkout. Once again, that's Tyler10. And wow, I totally just sounded like a salesperson when I said that. Once again, that's Tyler10 at. But, anyways, I don't make any money from that. It's not like I'm trying to sell you on it. Go use it if you'd like to. I'm not going to force you to. But you're here for a review, and that's what I'm going to give you. So let's get right into the video. First off, you need to know what actually is Unorthodox. Well, Unorthodox is a really cool take on the Invisible deck. Now, it's not the Invisible deck because it's done with one cards, which is the English version of Uno, but you have your spectators select a card. They can name one. They don't have to actually choose one from a deck. They name a card, and then whatever card they name, they actually get to see this happen. You pull out the deck, no funny business. The deck has been on the table the entire time, and you pull it out, and let's say it's in like a regular box of cards. Well, when you pull out this deck of one cards, you act like you've messed up or something's gone wrong, that somehow your son or your daughter or your spouse actually put your Uno cards or your one cards inside of your card box for playing cards, and then you proceed to spread through the cards, but then you show that one playing card is actually in the deck of one cards. And when you pull it out and flip it over, it's the card that your spectators named, not picked. It's not like you forced a card that they picked from a deck. They really do get to name a card, and it's the one that's face down in the deck of cards, in the deck of one cards. And it's really cool. It's the only playing card that they see, and it's just awesome. It's really gonna blow their minds, and I think that this is something special. Now that you know what Unorthodox is, let's talk about what you'll be receiving if you decide to purchase Unorthodox. We get this deck of one cards right here, the English version of Uno. So you get this deck of cards right here in a nice colorful box, but I'll touch on the box more later in this review. And inside of this is the one cards, and you also have a link to a video online that, there's a password where you can enter it and view and stream it online. It's a tutorial video from Alakazam. It's an in-depth tutorial, and you can even register your product with them to get the updates, because they post tutorial updates where you can get the additional ideas they come up with later after more people have played with it and more people have tested it out and come up with more ideas, which I really like, because you can basically get more presentation ideas, and they've already added one bonus video to the actual tutorial already, which is cool. So you get multiple ways to present this deck. So if you don't want to do the comedy routine where you messed up and you have a deck of one cards, you could make it a mentalism routine and make it more serious. How difficult is Unorthodox to perform? It's not difficult to perform. It's pretty easy to do. As long as you can do the Invisible deck, then you'll definitely be able to do this. And if you can't do the Invisible deck, or you don't know what it is, then it's not going to take you much practice at all. It's pretty easy to do. In fact, I would even say that this is easier to do than the Invisible deck, because there's no math or anything like that involved. It's easier to do. How are the angles for Unorthodox? You can perform Unorthodox surrounded. Your people can be over here and they can see this effect. They can be over here and they can see this effect. They can be behind you and they can see that, well, I guess they can't really see it if they're behind you. But if they could see through you, then they can still see this effect. You can do it surrounded. Is there any initial setup that you have to do? No, there's not any setup that you have to do. Once you get this deck and you pull it out of the box, you are ready to perform right away. Is Unorthodox examinable? No, this deck of one cards is not examinable. Your spectators cannot hold this deck or anything like that, but they can hold the card that they select. They can do that, but the deck itself, no, it's not examinable. Are there any negatives to performing Unorthodox? Well, maybe a negative for you is that there isn't really 100% free choice in whatever card they choose, but they can choose from plenty of cards. It's not 52, but it's a decent amount, and there is a free choice element involved. So it's not like they feel like you're forcing something on them, because you're really not forcing the card on them. You're just they can't choose any card, and I don't want to say too much more, but yeah, it's it's like half a free choice. It's really close to being a free choice, actually. In the tutorial video, they cover how to make sure that this does feel like a free choice, or how to make it seem like more of a free choice. But it is a free choice to an extent, but they cover a way to make sure that your spectators don't think anything's up. Another negative I would say is the box. Now, while the box itself is beautiful, you know, there's so many colors in it, and I do love how colorful it is, it's cool, it's not the box that I think should have come with this. It's really not. Because if you want to use another box besides a card box to carry these cards around, like let's say you want to do the serious mentalism approach, then what do you put these in? You don't put them in a deck of cards, but like you don't put them in a deck box. You'd have to put them in like another box, and I'm pretty sure the Uno packaging is bigger, and then if you pull these out of an Uno pack, then they're clearly going to know that this says 1 and not Uno. So it's really, I just really wish this would have come with a different box. Like, you cannot walk up to a group of people with this box that says Unorthodox by Antonio Martínez, Alakazam Magic, easy to do, no sleight of hand, instant reset, full online video training, may be performed with a comedy present. Like, it's just, you can't walk up with this box. It needs to be a different design that is something more similar to like the Gallery. Like, if you've ever seen the Gallery deck or something like that, that is not a deck that says the Gallery on it. It says like the memory deck or the memory game on it, which is cool. And this deck should have been better disguised other than a deck of Magic cards. What are the positives to performing Unorthodox? Well, like I mentioned, the free choice element is there, and it does feel like a really free choice, and it somewhat is, but I love that they can choose from many different cards, and it does feel like a free choice. I like that a lot. Another positive is that this is easier than the original Invisible deck. Now, just because of how this works, it is easier to do, but there's also no math involved. Now, I like math, but I know some people don't, so some people don't really want to worry about how the original Invisible deck works and using math, and you don't have to use any math with this, which is cool. And I also love how in an Invisible deck, you know, there's one card flipped over and the rest of the cards are face up. Well, with this, there's only one card that they ever see, only one playing card that they see, which is really cool because they can't think of, oh my gosh, somehow he flipped over one of those cards in the deck, because that's the only playing card in the deck that they see, which is really cool. I love how they're just surrounded by, you know, one cards or Uno cards and not just playing cards. The playing card is surrounded by these, which is awesome. What should Unorthodox retail as? Well, it currently retails as $38.95 US, and is that a fair price? Honestly, I think so. I think that is a fair price. I probably would even pay just a little bit more for this because you're going to get a lot of use out of it, and I do like this a lot. I love the idea behind it, how you can make it a comedy presentation or a more serious mentalism approach that you can take with it. So I do like this a lot, and I think that it's a fair price to pay. What would I give this out of 10? I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. The reason it's getting docked the half a point is because I think that this trick is really cool. It's really fun. I think I might like it even more than the Invisible deck, but the box should have been different. Wow, almost dropped it, but I didn't. Good catch, Tyler. But the box should have been different. It shouldn't have been printed like this. Should have been more discreet. Should have been, you know, able to disguise it as not a magic trick, and that's why it's getting docked to half a point. But the trick itself is awesome. That's going to do it for this video. If you'd like to purchase Unorthodox, the link is in the description. And if you'd like to purchase it from Mystique Factory by using code Tyler10 at checkout, remember you can save 10% by using that code. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. And like I said, the links are in the description and all that jazz. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, the link is in the description for that as well. On Instagram at TylerOnceMagic. There I post some original content. You can ask me questions, anything like that. So once again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another review sometime soon. See ya.